You're listening to Stories to Create with your host, Cornell Bunting. Author, motivational speaker, and founder of ES Each Episode. Cornell sits down with inspiring voices to uncover the stories that shape who we are and who we're becoming. Get ready to listen, learn, and be inspired. The show starts now.
David. Yes. Welcome to another episode of Stories to Create podcast right here at ES Club. I'm your host, Cornell Bunting. I'm so excited today. I am in this space with a beautiful soul that is doing some major things. She got a team, but they are saving some lives that have been compromised. I know we don't give you the whole detail because you got to hear about it in the story, right? We got to create that today. I am excited, so I ask for you guys, without further ado, help me welcome Kristen.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
So good to be here.
Yes, this is amazing. I gotta say that, people do a lot of different things to help individuals. What you do with your team of people, there's a lot of people that don't necessarily want to do that.
No. Nope.
It is a scary world. It is a scary world, and we'll dive into that in a little bit. I'm going to leave you guys in suspense for a little bit. I got you. You won't touch on it yet. But, of course, the listeners would like to know, where was Kristen born? Where did you grow up?
Ooh. So, I was born in Long Island.
Yo!
New
Long
York.
Island. Yeah. Okay.
Or they'll say Strong Island for who I need to represent.
Right. There you go. That's crazy though, because you were used to that cold weather, that snow and all that stuff.
Yes, and it is way in the past.
Jeez.
Ooh, I love the sandy beaches. I do love the sandy beach.
Like I had to get out of there, people. How long was you there? Like you did school? You did primary school, middle school, high school?
I was a graduate of my hometown.
Okay.
So then years later, my destiny was here.
Okay.
By a traumatic event. So that's something you didn't even know.
Something I didn't even know. So wait a minute. The cold is happening, but Florida wasn't really planned.
No.
Oh.
2017, my children and I were sent here for safety. He might need to reschedule.
I never knew.
You would like.
Do we want to tap in? Can we tap in?
Yes.
Okay.
We can. I am now the voice of that story.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yes.
I have braced myself. Wow. Let's tap in. So let's take us back just a little bit. Who was Kristen like in school growing up?
But this isn't the nerd power.
Yeah.
Okay. President of DECA, secretary of VICA, on the school store manager, involved in anything, including drama.
Wow.
I was a tennis player, cheerleader from very young.
Talk about just being involved.
Absolutely involved.
Are you guys surprised that she was a president? I mean, come on. Hey. Okay.
So I had philanthropy in my blood.
Yes.
Growing up, it was a thing to my grandparents to always give back.
Okay.
So Make-A-Wish Foundation, other foundations were always on my heart.
Yeah.
And it was, what can you push out before you push in?
Oh, man. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Yeah.
I like that, though. So, with all of that was unfolding, how many siblings was around?
So I am one of 4.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. All right.
I was amazing.
Middle, first,
I am
last?
the second born out of 4.
Second. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right.
I will never say I'm middle child. I won't
There's
let my
something
mom say
about
it
that.
either.
There's something about that, isn't it?
I won't.
I hear you. So, what was that like, in a house of four siblings?
Oh, we're a huge, big family.
Okay.
We are huge.
Yeah.
My mom has 13 grandchildren right now.
Wow.
Yes, we are a big, big family. And we were big then too, because we're extension of my aunts and uncles. Every week would be in our house.
Something going on.
It was absolutely family vibe.
Oh,
if we
I
weren't
love
going to Saturday 5:00 service, we were having a time of life.
So you were going to the church a lot?
Always. I grew up in the church.
Okay.
Yeah, Catholic though. I did switch my faith a little.
Catholic don't go too crazy where you got to go to church like 2-4 days a week or all that stuff?
No, they do have some rules. I wasn't allowed to eat a half hour prior. You had to be pure to the word.
Oh.
That was something my grandfather always told me. I still don't know the science behind it. I'm not too sure about that.
I didn't even know. So to go to church, you got to eat half hour before.
Way before, because you definitely don't want to eat during, and afterwards wasn't going to happen right away.
Wow. Wow. And you can't really eat in church.
Oh, no. No. Don't try to even fall asleep. Woo! You ain't going to the next week. It's a punishment. My grandfather did not play.
What? Wow. I would have been one of those individuals that'd be like, Cornell, you cannot eat in the church.
Mm-hmm.
I probably would be eating in the church.
Right?
Yeah.
Just
to disrupt something.
Still, to this day, I bring my coffee. I'm like, I think because I'm an adult now, I'm like, I could bring my snacks.
Oh, yeah,
I can grab my bagel, my coffee on the way.
We grown-ups out of here. What we doing?
Like, I'm still pure to the word. I listen, I read.
Yeah.
But beside my coffee.
Right. So a lot of giving in school. You had that heart to be very actionable.
Mm-hmm.
So college was up there as well.
Oh, yeah. I started right after high school. I went into SUNY Farmingdale.
Okay.
So right into that path.
So, after school was done, did you wanted to go into like the philanthropy stuff or you wanted to go into the work world?
No. So I was called the numbers.
Okay.
So auditing, SOX testing behind the stock market was where I was. I worked for one of the major companies that 90% of the banks are their part. That's their customers, right?
Right.
So I jumped right into there.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Now, walk us, just take us into 2017. But before we get into 2017, let's get on the cuffs of 2016. Just a little bit of some of the challenges that was unfolding.
Well, I think to even go back even further.
Right.
What I thought was love at 15 didn't end up turning out to be love, because 2016 is where it was purely defined.
Okay.
And I was filing for divorce.
So your other half, you were discovered by him at the age of 15.
Yeah, he was 21. And I hid him from my family because I was a righteous girl. Why would I tell that I'm dating someone older? Why? This man would drive me and my friends everywhere. Okay. What I thought was love and above my family was absolutely not.
Wow.
No.
So, but you waited until you got to 18, 19, then you got married.
Yeah, we got married. We did get married. I did have some medical situations. I had to have brain surgery. So we're unfolding a lot. He's really learning my life.
Yeah.
So I had to have some brain surgery. So he was right there with a lot of my stages of needing some medical care. Again, thinking it was all love and not taking me away from my family, my friends, everything. Right. But slowly it was. Yeah. And then after having children, it got a little harder.
Okay.
And then he did have more than one woman on the side. Oh. And I said, I'm too strong for this. Yeah. And I got stronger and stronger.
Okay.
Went to work every day, built myself up in a career aspect, able to leave him financially. Okay. And then, not going to cry. He said, to death do us part. Wow. And he attempted to murder me and my children on November 3rd of 2016.
Oh, man.
And literally said those words.
Wow.
My 4-year-old at the time found a way to get through our fence to get help. And she did. She saved my life. She saved her sister's life that was knocked out on the floor.
Wow. So you guys got out of there.
Mm-hmm.
How soon after you got out of that home were you guys able to move to Florida?
So it wasn't a choice of mine, being with such family and the community, having a career. My job was amazing. They knew he broke my phone that day. They immediately got me a phone the next day. Okay. Only sent a few staff because I knew when I finally got home from the hospital, I was pretty beaten. Oh, man. But they did find him. Okay. My brother's a retired detective, but he was a detective at the time. Yeah. So they Suffolk County Police did everything possible to find that. Okay. And he did. He was found. Okay. Only given a year in jail for what he did.
What?
It was not a felony. It was misdemeanors. Misdemeanors. Because he tore my ear, but my ear didn't fall off. He broke my tooth, but my tooth was still intact. Yeah. They couldn't confirm, even though handprints were on my throat, right, that he made me unconscious. So the state said, it's a misdemeanor. We're going to allow him to plea deal this because he had some information on some other things.
I see. So Okay, wow.
And he was out in good behavior, given an ankle monitor, restricting a demon. Right? Restricting the devil, trying to grab him. Yeah. So eventually he took that off. Okay. And I don't know exactly what transpired, but whoever was around him knew that he was heading towards me to finish the job of death due part. Oh, man. And Suffolk County Police gave us about $500. A MapQuest told us not to use our phone. Put us on the train with my car and my two kids, which were under 5 years old at the time, and brought us on the train and gave me a telephone number to call. I still didn't know I was going to Naples. Still had no clue. Got to the station, got to my car, because you finally get reunited with your car. Call this number. Then they give me directions to Naples. They were bringing me to the shelter for abused family and children. Oh, man. Still then, I wasn't allowed to tell even my detective brother where I was being sent. You were going, Could not call my mom to say I'm here safe. Wow. It was a few weeks, maybe over a month, before I could call my mom and even say what state I was sent to. Oh, man. And we're a tight family, right? Yeah. Wow. Right?
Wow. Now, the shelter here, they welcome you with open arms and...
Yes. Yes, they absolutely did. They have an amazing facility. Yeah. That you sit on the furniture, you feel loved. Yeah. Staff that I got the pleasure to meet some of their, I guess, maybe event committee people that would come in. It happened to be around, it was October, and it was towards December that I was getting out. So there was people coming in for the holidays. Okay. And I got to speak with them. Okay. And I've seen them now throughout the years, kind of in different events. Right. But you could tell it's such a well-loved committee that they have surrounding that shelter.
How was your kids dealing with all this when?
Oh, it was tough. Yeah. Yeah. My daughter she was going into kindergarten, or she was in kindergarten at the time that we were sent. So she had just a few weeks of kindergarten and then had to be sent here. Yeah. Couldn't see her cousins anymore. Right. Or her nanny. Yeah. You know, her pa, my dad, my mom. Yeah. Couldn't call them, couldn't call anybody. So I immediately looked for an apartment. I knew that North Naples was kind of my home. Okay. So I immediately, as quick as I could, right, figured out some things. Yeah. I knew I couldn't just tell people where I was working. So I had to start a little bit fresh with quiet eyes and ears. You know, I was scared at that point.
Right. Wow. Now, and with your kids being as young as they were, seeing some of that, when was you able to even talk to them about the whole situation?
So being that shelter is so fully loved with staff, volunteers, and equipped to serve the girls, the families that come in, they immediately put you into a setting of there's a therapist there, there's therapists for children there, there's people that can talk to you all for the advocacy, and even at night when you're having that moment of I can't sleep, there's staff there. So, it's tough though. We were having an art event and we were just playing, and I think we were making T-shirts. And I remember my daughter it was red paint.
Yeah.
And, sometimes you can't get it to squeeze out. So we tried real good. Someone said, let me help you. And when she squeezed it, the red went everywhere.
Wow.
My daughter's PTSD hit in. This is now a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
And she turns blue. She's not breathing because she remembers the blood on me that day. Mm-hmm. And immediately we have to, but it even struck me, all of us. Red was such a trigger.
Yeah.
Even going to church, red lights were so triggering because the blood that I shed that day with what would happen to us.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So luckily, things like that I was still within, again, their security blanket at the time to kind of go through what PTSD is, right? I didn't know what that was.
Right.
Then I worked with the schools. They had a great support system to walk into the school for enrollment. My girls, Pelican Marsh Elementary has the amazing staff.
Yeah.
They are rock stars to this day.
Yeah.
My daughter now up, but in middle school, my other one is in elementary, but they have our file locked.
Yeah.
That very secure on even our bus stops.
Yeah.
No one will know where we live.
Amazing.
To this day, and they will continue.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Wow. Man. I'm going to wait after the show, then I'll give her a hug, because I want to give her a hug right now.
Don't all cry.
I feel,
Don't all cry.
Yeah. But, you've, despite all that was unfolding, you still find it in you to go help others.
Yes. Always. Because again, I was raised and you give before you get.
Right.
You bring outward before you bring in. Right? So knowing, and didn't happen right away, but knowing that great people got me to a place of serenity, of peace, to know that my kids are safe, and also have an outrageous education system. Something I couldn't pay for in New York, right? The blessing behind the curse, was Naples. That, was absolutely where I was sent, was where I was destined to go. So now I just had to find my church again. I had to find my village. I had to build people around me that were like-minded individuals, which absolutely I am still even grabbing. I'm like, ooh, I need more. Give me more of them, right? So that was where I was like, no, I will be a leader at church. Awesome. Let me volunteer at a Val hospice. Let me go, be on a board for the medical community, in addition to being on the board for the human trafficking world. I have a survivor's heart, and I am not going to be quiet.
Wow. I got to tell you, that world, you got to be very bold with a lot of brave in you to want to be in a field like that, where you're helping humans that are being trafficked.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So that is where I jumped on the board initially, and I was like, I can do your accounting work. Let me be your treasurer. I can make this number work, right? But then meeting the girls, working with children that have endured so much more than I know what is of trauma. I mean, the cases are hard. The children are getting younger, and there's so many on the waiting list just needing a safe bed. That was like, I cannot not do this. Right? Because I know what it is to be a victim and to go into being a survivor. But these are children. Right? And I see my children in them as far as my children needed certain therapy groups. They needed different nonprofits to hug them through their childhood, so that now they can play their oboe and their string bass and be musically inclined because that's what their heart says, or dance like a dancing queen because they're safe and loved and valued. Right? So now, how can I help the program do just that for these girls that we get, even for a temporary moment? Wow. My personal experience can be transformed to that, which is a blessing, and it's amazing.
It's so amazing because, sometimes, people talk about the bad situation they're in until they meet someone that's in a worse situation.
And that's really it.
And then you're like, why am I even complaining? But, I mean, it's still valid with, what's going on over here. But
well, that's why God calls us for our testimonies to be spoken for those that need to come up from theirs.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So every time there is a little bit of trial in your life, there is a reason behind it to lift yourself and others to so much more.
This is true. This is very true. And I've, you guys have heard this a few different times before, but it's always so beautiful and pure when it comes from someone that have had certain experience and have dived into another world that is so much evil. Man.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Evil's out there.
Yes.
But the more we sow our seeds, the lighter the world gets.
This is true. This is true. And I think, we're moving into a space where more people are starting to do that.
Oh, yeah.
You have surrounded yourself with a lot of ladies that are, like-minded and passionate. How did that even unfold?
Yeah. So at my church, they wanted a human trafficking crew, and they showed the Sound of Freedom movie. And I was like, yes, that's right. What can I do?
Yeah.
Who can I call?
Yeah.
Do I need to go all the way to Capitol Hill? I'm there, right? I don't know how I'm getting there, but I'm there. You know, and that's where I jumped on that and learned what locations were in Florida.
Right.
It's something I'll tell you now, which wasn't a couple of years ago. There was more. Right. But right now, Ground Up Ministry is one of only 3 organizations to be able to take in children who have survived human trafficking.
Yeah.
We only have a 2% of the rescued beds in the entire state.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Which is scary to hear.
It is scary.
Right? A critical gap is happening right now. Is 225 kids were rescued just in Florida last year.
Yeah.
3 operations.
Yeah.
And then there was only 30 beds for those kids.
30 beds.
But I can tell you all of them are full.
Yeah.
We, during every 3 operations, had to say no when we got that call.
Yeah. Wow.
We're full.
Yeah. Wow.
And as are the others.
Yeah.
And that's that for me. I'm like, oh, that is more so why I am.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh,
it's crazy as you're talking right now. Because, later, a couple of shows, because the show right now is booked all the way out to, I think, May, somewhere there, or June, somewhere there. But we have a lady coming on the show that she was in the whole chef. Like she was one of those victims. And we were on a show together. She was the first guest. I was the second guest. And just hearing her, I was so blown away. I was like, I got to bring you on the show. Because I've never interviewed someone that have been in the fire, and what that looked like. I don't even know what that's going to look like. But
well, and there's so many levels of trafficking.
Yeah.
So you can be trafficked for sexual things, but you can also be trafficked in the world of business.
Yes.
And in so many things of basically abuse and money, you're trafficked.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
serious.
It is a serious topic.
Yeah.
And when someone has a voice to it, they are finally healed and redeemed to get that out. They are worthy of every word they say.
Yeah. Have you ever had the urge, and I know because of the nature now of the situation, you might have not gone back to Long Island yet, huh? Or you have?
So I do. I mean, I go back twice a year because that's my family, my friends. I still have the same friends from 4th grade.
Okay, there you go.
Same friends. I have a lot more now around me, but absolutely do go back. Would I live there? I don't know. This is my serenity. This is where my path was led.
The sun and the beach.
Yeah. I don't know that
When you get up in the morning, what's the one song that you could go to and just relax your mind and get you ready for the day?
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Every young person carries a story of hope, of struggle, of dreams waiting to rise. But in too many underserved communities, those stories go unheard.
At ease, at ease. music, everyone has a story. We believe every voice deserves a chance. Through mentorship, empowering programs, and storytelling workshops, we help youth discover their purpose, strengthen their mindset, and build a future they can be proud of.
From classrooms in Jamaica to communities across Southwest Florida.
ES is changing lives,
One story at a time.
but we can't do it alone. Join us, become a mentor, volunteer, donate, help us fuel the next generation of leaders, creators, and change makers.
Visit ahasink.org today. Because when you help a young person share their story, you help them change their world.
Whew. There is so many.
There's a few, huh?
There is.
You
You
like
know,
the
I'm
Hillsong
saying-
music.
Well, I'm a person that I'll put instrumental Christian music on
Okay.
and just listen.
Just hang out.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
just listen and meditate to just that,
I like that.
right? So it doesn't have to be one direct song,
Yeah.
but there is so many that you could just listen to and just, it speaks to the moment,
Yeah.
right? So I'm
Yeah.
big on just throwing a radio station on.
Right.
What is it? What is that song for me?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
What is that song that I need to hear right now?
Right.
Right? Is it Amazing Grace? Right?
Yeah.
Do I need to hear Amazing Grace just for the moment? Right?
There you go.
Or is it just something as simple as, just I say a Bob Marley song, right?
Oh, there you go.
that can
Yeah.
get you right
Oh, yeah.
into
Oh, yeah.
that. I remember that vacation. I remember that time. I was fresh. I was free. I was enjoying life in the moment. Music
Mm-hmm.
brings you there.
It does. It really does. And I have to say, it is a special day today. And for a lot of you guys that are like, so what does she do on a day like Good Friday?
Yes.
What does that look like?
Ooh, for me as a faithful woman,
Yes.
with my two kiddos, typically is going to church
There you go.
and doing a worship night.
Okay.
I am not singing. I will not sing, so don't worry.
Yeah.
But I will in my car.
Yes.
I will praise the name every single day for the day that it is.
Yeah.
Because it is Good Friday, and
is, yeah.
and so many sacrifices led up to this day, and just everything that we have in abundance, grace of greatness was from this Holy Week.
There's so much information out there that a lot of individuals, they're still trying to make it make sense, a lot of it, because they feel some of it is a little confusing. While we don't talk a whole lot of religion on the show, because the show is never about that. But, do you see now where more people are craving the information of understanding who God is?
I think so. And just and maybe it's the world that we live in, the social media, and there's different movies, right? The Chosen, right? Kind of let people dive in a different kind of way of viewing it.
Yeah.
And then when they saw that, they're like, oh, this Bible verse does make sense.
Right.
I can understand that. Oh, maybe I do get strength from that.
Right.
So I know for me, going through a divorce, fear, anxiety, PTSD, having to reestablish my career, I only had one common thing there, which was my faith from my childhood that I was able to extend into my adulthood that grounded me in the moment of trauma.
Wow.
So I can't imagine what life would be without faith. I'm very happy that I don't have to imagine it in that aspect.
That's beautiful. I love that. And you've grown over the years from that. We've moved now going to almost 10 years.
Yes.
Wow. The kids are happy and everything. Mom is good.
My girls are fun.
That's good.
They are fun.
That is a beautiful thing. Have you got a chance to take them up to Disney or Legoland? Yeah, a few times.
Even on the day I was sent, the month after I was sent here, I made sure on November 3rd of that year I was sent October 7th of 2017. So that November 3rd, I didn't want to be in a shelter to remind us of the trauma.
Right.
I actually did bring them to Legoland that year.
Come on.
And then every year forward, that week, as well as President's Week, is when we go to some theme park.
Yeah. You know, I got to tell you, when I used to take my boys up there, they're like, Dad, you're supposed to bring us here for us to have fun. You having more fun than us having fun.
I have more Mickey ears than them.
Uh,
I will live through them every day.
It's a beautiful thing. Now, with the work that you're doing, still making sure you have a balanced function as a mom, and what that look like.
Oh, yeah.
How, like for individuals that are in those similar situations, what do you say to them that just kind of keep you going in a way that you're functioning?
Yeah. Well, work-life balance for anyone, especially single moms.
Right.
Oh, it's difficult,
Yeah.
right? And then to be someone that's running a company with 2 children under high school level, right? It brings a different dynamic of how can I do this?
Yeah.
I'm lucky that I have a board that understands that, you know, my work schedule can be right after the car line.
Right.
And then I finish at the next car line.
Right.
And then I work again at night after dinner.
Right.
I can, you know, and that might
You got
mean,
flexibility.
yeah, I have flexibility where I can
Okay.
go to a softball game for my kiddo. I can go to a dance, you know, weekend for my daughter's competition. I have to say I'm super stoked that my ability and what I do, I can have that flexibility around my girls. I do also work for an organization that family is first, and my children get to be around every child
That's
that
amazing.
is in the program.
Wow.
So we love doing family vacations or family events. So I'll tell all my staff, bring your kids.
Yeah.
Because we're all background checked. My kids have an NDA, and once
Right.
they turn 12 years old, we get a background check for them as well.
Okay. Wow.
Just to be around just for the safety of the girls that we
Yeah.
support.
Yeah.
And we jump all in. We went for a dolphin tour.
Come on.
Yes, less than a year ago. We went up to Tampa. We did an Airbnb for all of us,
Yeah.
plus family, plus the
Okay.
girls we serve. And they got to see the dynamics of different family lives, right?
Nice.
Different mom and dads working with their kids and how we all blended together.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
So, again,
Now, have your siblings come down or your parents come down to hang out with you down here?
absolutely. My mom comes often.
Yeah.
My mom comes so often. Anytime that I just say I need her, she's here.
Beautiful.
Yeah. She hasn't sold her house and got to Naples yet or any of Southwest Florida.
Right.
But my brother keeps telling her we need to do it. Because
Yeah.
my brother he hopes to retire here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's big. And so I have a brother that's a pastor in Long Island, Sound to Heaven Church. He's amazing. And then I have a brother that's a retired detective.
Okay.
And then a sister as well. So they would all love to move here, I hope, one day. But everyone's there.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
If there's one fruit that you could eat for 5 days of the week, which fruit would it be?
I'm a mango girl. That was even best when my child was teething.
Oh, yeah? Whole lot of mangoes.
A whole lot of mangoes.
Oh, that is amazing right there. Now,
Wow.
when it comes to animals, which animal would you say is your favorite animal?
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one,
I
huh?
want to say I'm more, an owl.
Ooh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Well, and
Okay.
having that dark, like being more aware.
They are very aware.
Yeah. And
someone-
also very to themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone say they can turn their head 360, but I don't know if I can handle that.
I don't think I could do that.
Yeah, they say a owl could look at you, turn around,
Ooh.
and keep turning. I don't know. I would have to see that.
Right? I don't know.
if-
So we have an owl that stands right at the safe house that we have. It just stands on the light.
Oh,
And it's been there over 10 years.
wow.
And it's
a
I
watcher.
wonder.
It's
It's
like
a
on
watcher.
duty.
It's during the day too.
Yeah, wow.
Because sometimes you don't see them all during the day.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do, and
Yeah.
sometimes they don't like if you walk past. This one just watches you.
Yeah, just hang out. Just, I got you. guys.
Yeah, I'll let you know if there's anyone lurking.
Wow. I mean, so right now with, you being with 2 organizations and
Yes.
the work that you're doing, And I know we're far off from, addressing the meat of a lot of the situations and why certain things have gotten to where it is now.
Yeah.
But you think most of this is because it's so driven on money?
Yeah. So human trafficking is over $1 billion industry.
Come on.
It is, compared to the drug world, where you might get caught a lot easier, right? There's different operations. There's more police funding for drug operations than there is for trafficking.
Wow.
So when there's more funding, will there be even more people rescued, right?
Right.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But I really do think that because our world is so in our face with so much technology that it makes it easier to see the predators.
Right.
But one thing they'd say, and I was just at a Collier County's awareness and prevention with the task force there, they had said for every predator they find, there's typically about 13 victims behind that predator.
Wow.
But their predators are in the thousands being caught.
Right.
So what I see for referrals on a monthly basis is every other day I'm getting a referral for a child that needs a bed.
Right.
There's so much more that still haven't been rescued.
Right.
Only 1% is actually rescued. So these numbers are going to climb, sadly.
Let me ask you, and you might be able to answer this question. You think it's risky when they release someone that was maybe a pedophile or someone that have raped kids that they put back into society, which I think they do certain things where they have to notify where they're going to be. You think that's still a big risk of some of those people doing, because I've heard that a lot of them are a part of this type of business.
Yeah, I do. I do think it's at risk. Can you change?
Yeah.
Yes. Can you be one of the 1% that do get changed and live a different life than what you had done to someone else? It's possible.
Right. Wow.
But it's so hard to say that someone's not going to do that crime again.
Right.
For me, I was found in 2023, again, with a voter's registration, right? He went to hurt me again, the kids. Wow. And Collier County had to then arrest him, put an ankle monitor in the county as well. Yeah. So I know a repeat offender personally. Right. So who's protecting these girls that don't have the knowledge, the support, the ability to protect themselves from those that have done this?
Mm-hmm. I mean, and it seemed like a lot of the support is limited, but when you keep fighting, stuff happens.
Yeah.
You guys are getting ready to go into a second home as well.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Wow. So we're expanding our capacity by double. We are in the midst of the licensing stage for that location. We've already got the keys.
Okay.
We were blessed by a donation by a furniture location. Clive Daniels Homes.
Come on.
Furnished from the lanai all the way to the bedrooms.
Wow.
5-bedroom house.
Amazing.
3 bathrooms. And he gave it all.
Come on. That's amazing.
And, as a nonprofit, you're scared to buy something that's $800, right? You're like, I need 3 quotes. It's $800. My board's going to need it. Yeah. Well, then, then you send an email to someone that just might hear your heart a little bit.
Right.
And he sent a couch that was over $10,000 for these girls, showing their worth, right? The girls that come in our referral, it worth so much more than I know that I can afford to give them, right? But when you grab those community partners, you're able to do so much more.
That is amazing.
And that's our biggest thing right now is building our community partners, because we'll be able to continue to expand with that.
Let me ask you, for young ladies that are, because I was told sometimes some of these young ladies that are being trafficked are out here in the world as well. It's just that they're scared to talk about or ask for help because they don't know if they're going to get.
Yeah.
I mean, what message would you say to them, in case they're listening or watching?
Be your voice. Speak up. Know that someone is enduring worse than what you think is really, really bad. And your actions can stop the next person being abused. Right. So just be the voice and be heard. Know that you're worthy of every word you speak.
Some would say the scary part for a lot of individuals that don't do that is them thinking about what could happen to them when they do that.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So fear is, and when you hit a point in your brain of PTSD, your mind kind of hallucinates to always being in that fight or flight, right? So reality seems really, really hard for those individuals.
Right.
But, I can tell you that it is worth the words. It is worth to scream for help.
Yeah.
It is worth just to jump into your own reality and understand who you are, because I'm assuming I didn't know who I was. Right. So once you identify yourself, you are able to do anything you want.
Yeah. Wow. Are you a big fan of eating Italian food?
I'm Italian, so chicken parmesan from time to time. My mom's eggplant parmesan has to be the best.
So that sauce is serious.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, my mom's sauce is on point. She ain't messing with us.
Did she teach you how to do that sauce?
She tried.
Yeah.
Then when she saw me put sugar in it, she's like, no.
Don't never.
Don't.
You never do that again. Oh my goodness. Wow. That is amazing. Now, the relationship with your church family, how different is it from your ministry that you do family?
It's my church, which is outrageous. Where I came leading in human trafficking, they still have that crew.
Okay.
They pour into us.
Okay.
They send volunteers to us and walk alongside us.
Okay.
So there's really, for me, it's an extension of me and my hand.
Beautiful.
There's also other churches that do just that for our organization.
Okay.
Our girls go to Bible study. They go to just regular Sunday service, no different than any other family.
That's awesome.
And it's because of those church partners that we have.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That. If you was to say one thing to a predator, because you never know. We
might have to edit this.
We get them too.
I don't know that I can say those words
cuss,
out loud.
Don't cuss.
I will not, but no.
But for people that even know of, one of these type of people that's doing this stuff, and you could speak to their heart just for a change, what would that even sound like?
However you got into whatever you're doing today, it is not the path. That you are not needing to transform other individuals as much as you need to transform yourself.
Right.
Look inward and pour outward in a better way.
Yeah.
Speak up for all that are just so much needed right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look inward and pour out for the better. Come on. That's a beautiful word right there. I like that.
Yeah.
Wow. You've hit me hard today. I wasn't ready. I was not ready, people. I know you guys wasn't ready either, but you guys are welcome. You got quite a bit today as we go into the closing of the show. Yes. For people that would like to support the ministry or what that look like, what would that look like for them?
Yes, so you can reach us at groundupministry.org. There is plenty of information of who we are since 2016. You can reach out to our admin, which our telephone number is 239-406-1350.
Beautiful.
And we would love to connect. We'd love to have you pray for us, volunteer, or become a community partner.
Come on.
Yes.
Amazing.
Walk beside us as we help raise children that are so deserving of being children.
Yes. Wow.
And taken from the trauma.
Wow. Well, there you have it, guys. Until our next episode, where we have another decorative guest right here at ES Club, Kristen Russell.
Yes.
Yes, it was lovely having you on the show. It was great. This is beautiful. There you go, guys. Beautiful.
Thanks for tuning in and downloading this episode of Stories to Create. We appreciate you being part of this growing community of storytellers and listeners. If today's conversation inspired you, please share the show with friends, family, or anyone who could use a little motivation in their journey. A special thank you to our sponsors, EHAS Organization, Cornell Bunting LLC, and Nostril Cheese Chase. for supporting the mission and making this podcast possible. To learn more about our work, upcoming projects, and how you can get involved, be sure to visit www.hissinkorg and www.cornellbunting.com. Until next time, keep creating, keep growing, and remember, your story has power.